My beloved child, listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is unlike anything you have ever felt before, and God Himself is stirring your spirit for this moment. A moment that does not come twice, a moment that feels like a gentle whisper, yet carries the weight of a divine awakening. And right now heaven leans toward you, as if the very angels pause mid-flight to witness what God is unveiling in your life. For even as you breathe these words in, the Lord is reshaping the atmosphere around your destiny. And yes, Elon, without being replaced, without being rewritten, stands only as a symbol, a reminder that even the most unexpected voices can become instruments in God's timing, but the true message is not from Him. It is from God, who sees the hidden roads you walked, the private tears you cried, the nights you questioned whether anyone, even heaven, remembered your name, and God says, "My child, I never left you for a single heartbeat." So keep your eyes open, because the next breath you take is stepping into a divine alignment that was prepared long before you were even born, long before you fought your first battle, long before you carried your first wound. And now the Lord is drawing you into a holy suspense, a place where your heart trembles not from fear but from sacred anticipation. Because when God begins to move, the soul feels it before the mind understands it. And right now you feel something stirring inside you. Your chest tightens, your breath slows. Your spirit leans forward, because heaven is opening the pages of a new chapter with your name woven into it. And while Elon may be waiting in the story you were given, God is the one waiting in the story you are living. And He says, "My child, stay with me, for the next moments will reveal why I kept you in seasons that felt silent, why I removed people you begged me to let stay, why I closed doors you tried with all your strength to pry open. For the Lord was not punishing you, He was protecting the promise inside you, nurturing a strength that earth could not measure, a faith that hell could not break. And now the same God who formed mountains, who carved rivers through stone, who breathed galaxies into existence, is breathing over your destiny, whispering, 'Do not look away, for something holy is rising within you.' And even your heartbeat feels different, because God is drawing you into a divine moment where revelation and reality collide. And though the world speaks of timelines, frequencies, signals, and alignment, God speaks of calling, purpose, and divine order. And He says, 'My beloved child, I have written a future for you that no human hand can erase.' And while Elon may stand at the edge of this story like a figure of curiosity or anticipation, heaven stands as the author, the voice that never fails, the guide that never misleads, the father who never lets his child fall without lifting them stronger than before. So don't rush, don't scroll, don't blink, because the presence you feel pressing gently on your spirit right now is the Lord drawing near, reminding you of who you are and whose you are. And even the battles you thought broke you were in fact the very battles God used to build you. For every tear watered a seed, every heartbreak strengthened your foundation, every delay redirected you into God's perfect timing. And now the Holy Spirit is aligning your mind, your future, and your destiny into a place where nothing about your life stays the same. And the Lord whispers again, "My child, I am the one who chooses you, who calls you, who carries you, who opens doors no human voice, Elon or anyone else, can fully explain." And if your spirit feels awakened, that is because heaven has stepped into your room, into your thought, into your timeline, as God says, "This is your moment, the one I have preserved, the one I have protected, the one that reveals why I never let you give up." And even though suspense rises around the idea that someone like Elon waits to speak, God waits to transform. And His waiting holds more power, more truth, more destiny than any earthly anticipation. So breathe deeply and let your heart settle into his presence. Because the moral of this entire journey is simple and holy. When God calls you, nothing, not fear, not delay, not people, not circumstances, can silence what he ordained for your life. And sometimes he uses unexpected figures to get your attention. But the message is always his. The timing is always his. The glory is always his. And the miracle waiting for you will make you realize that the greatest revelation is not that Elon is waiting to speak, but that God has been speaking to you all along, guiding you toward a future that will make others whisper, "Surely the hand of the Lord was upon them." And my beloved child, if you carry anything from this moment, carry this truth. God's plan for you will always be greater than the anticipation of man. If you want it longer, deeper, or more emotional, just say "for se" or "deep liko." My dear friend, let your heart be still for a moment, because the Lord is drawing you into a quiet place where his voice can reach you more clearly than the noise around you. And as you breathe slowly, I want you to feel the gentle weight of his presence settling upon your shoulders like a warm mantle, reminding you that even when life felt heavy and confusing, God was closer than your breath, guiding you through valleys you didn't understand and storms you didn't know how to survive. Just as he guided Moses through a wilderness full of uncertainty and David through years of waiting before the throne was ever within reach. And this same faithful God is reaching toward you right now because he has seen the hidden battles you fought, the silent disappointments you swallowed, the prayers that left your lips trembling, and the nights you laid awake asking why certain things fell apart the way they did. And though you wondered if heaven had gone quiet, the truth is that God was working in the silence, arranging steps, redirecting paths, removing what was not meant to stay, and shielding you from attacks you never even knew were coming, because his love has always been your unseen shield. And while you questioned your purpose, the Lord was strengthening your spirit, refining your character, stretching your faith, and shaping your heart into something far more resilient than before. And now he whispers that this season you are entering will not resemble the pain you just walked through. For the valley was temporary, but the victory will be lasting. And every tear you cried has been accounted for. Every seed of faith you planted is about to bear fruit. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, has been seen by the one who rewards those who diligently seek him. For he has plans to open doors that no man can shut, to bring peace that makes no sense to the world, to heal wounds that have lingered for years, and to restore the parts of your life that felt too broken to be whole again. And as the Holy Spirit surrounds you now, he reminds you that the same God who strengthened Esther when she faced a kingdom, the same God who stood with Daniel in a den of lions, the same God who walked into the furnace with 3 young men who refused to bow, that same God walks with you, stands beside you, goes before you, and will never allow anything to separate you from his love. And although the enemy tried to make you believe that your failures disqualified you, God says that grace qualifies you again and again, mercy rewrites your story, and redemption lifts you higher than the places where you once stumbled. And as this truth begins to settle inside you, may you realize that nothing you have lost is beyond God's ability to restore. Nothing you have faced is bigger than his power to overcome, and nothing in your future is uncertain to the one who holds eternity in his hands. So walk forward with a renewed heart, knowing that the delays were divine training, the heartbreak was holy redirection, the closed doors were sacred protection, and the waiting was a spiritual classroom where God was teaching you patience, discernment, and depth. And as you rise from this moment, may you carry the unshakable assurance that God is not finished with you yet, for he is the author of your story, and each chapter he writes carries purpose, beauty, strength, and new beginnings. And when people see what God brings out of this season, they will know it was His hand alone. And your life will speak a message stronger than words. That God is faithful, God is present, God is patient, God is powerful. And God never abandons those who trust in Him. And the real lesson hidden inside your long, difficult journey is this. Every setback was turning you toward a blessing. Every ending was preparing you for a beginning. And every moment you felt alone, you were actually being carried by the one who loves you more deeply than you could ever understand. Type yes if you believe in God. Type 1111 if you believe in God.